appropriate. So in the assignment, he will ask you to compare two types of businesses based on normative ethical theories or descriptive ethical theories. He will ask you to cross and compare two businesses. Okay. So today's lecture is very important because some of you will be writing as per the normative ethical theories. Some of you will be writing as per the descriptive ethical theories. So what does it mean by descriptive ethical theories? Last time we discussed about normative ethical theories, which means that what businesses should do in ideal scenario. So what is the ideal moral position for the business? It is called as normative ethical theories, which we saw last time. Today we will look into descriptive ethical theories, that why businesses do so. What are the factors which influence on the businesses making certain decisions? So you guys, you are sitting in front of me, these two lines, yes. Very sensitive time and very sensitive lecture. You also. So if you are here to attendance, you can go. Otherwise, use Telegram. I am also not interested you are listening to me or not, but you should be respectful towards those, my future, my Einstein, my Newtons, my governators. Some of you are here to study and I am here to teach them. So be respectful towards them. So ladies and gentlemen, all of you have already seen this video by Mountain Dew. Those of you who didn't see, please ask from each other and see this video. So what happened in this case? The girls are being punished. Did you see this video? The Mountain Dew one? No? So those of you who have seen, the girls are being punished, but we think that our legal position is that the Mountain Dew should also be punished, because the business should be careful in hiring any marketing company. So you cannot say that it is the fault of the girls, it is the fault of the business as well. For the sake of example, if you go to the restaurant and you see that this person who is bringing your food is also tasting from the same plate and put the spoon in your food. So who should you blame? Of course it is the fault of the individual, but also you will ask to the restaurant owner that why you have hired this person. So you cannot simply say that the employee is always responsible for the deed, what he does on the name of the company. No, the business should also take responsibility. Most of the time it happens that business does something wrong and then put the whole blame on the employee, that this single employee was doing wrong things. So ladies and gentlemen, we will see how the businesses make decisions, why they choose to act in certain way which apparently seem very unethical. Before that, I would like to summarize the last lecture. In the last lecture, we discussed about three types of normative theories. If you remember, consequentialism. What is consequentialism? Consequences, results, utility. So if the result is good, if the end is fine, then you can justify the deed and justify the mean. If the company is making profit, don't care about the actions, you just care about the profit. This is consequentialist approach. Don't care about the actions, care about the result. This is called as consequentialism, consequentialist approach. So many times we have seen all around us, businesses don't care about the actions, they just care about the profit. So it means that they have consequentialist approach. The next approach is deontology. Last time I told you certain businesses don't care about the profit. They care about the actions. They think that they should be doing right thing, what is right thing to do. They don't care about the profit. For example, those of you who are believer, if someone give you $5,000 and ask you to work in an alcohol factory, I am sure that many of you will deny, because you think that this is categorically prohibited according to your faith. It's mean that you have a deontological approach. You don't care about the money, you care about the action. Did you understand? And some people They have motivation out of their wisdom, out of their ego. Their personality is like this, that they do certain things. This is called as virtue ethics. So you can try this. There will be many colleagues, they don't look into the consequences, they don't look into the actions. They just do because they are built in this way. So this is the virtue ethics. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember this slide, last time we discussed that there are two extremes. On one extreme is ethical absolutism. Ethical absolutism means that certain things are decided, absolutely decided. Right or wrong, good or bad, halal or haram, these things are already decided. They are on one extreme. Ethical absolutism means you don't need to think morally, things are already decided. On the other side, there is ethical relativism, which means everyone has its own criteria of right and wrong, good or bad. Everyone can do whatever he likes to do to make himself happy. This is ethical relativism, and we discussed about these 5 theories in the last lecture. 3 of them I have already repeated. Utilitarianism is same as consequentialism, deontology and virtue ethic. Divine command theory. So divine mean God, command mean order. Divine command theory, which means that certain people follow the beliefs which they think are revealed on them by the God. So many people, they follow the religious ethics, which is actually the following the divine command theory. So no matter how much money business can make, they will never invest into poker business, they will never invest into alcohol business, yes, they will never invest into buying and selling, which is categorically prohibited by the religion. So this type of morality is called as influenced by divine command theory, that they have already been trained, the moral right or wrong, moral standard and preferences has been set by them. Natural law theory means that sometimes you don't follow any of these theories, you just try to balance. Have you heard about eye in return of eye, hand in return of hand? Yes? So compensation, you have to compensate. So this type of approach, this type of moral approach is called as influenced by natural law theory. Ladies and gentlemen, these 5 normative theories, why I am repeating? Because in your assignment he will ask you to analyze the business according to the ethical models. So one option available is that you will analyze your businesses based on these 5 theories. Okay? So this is one approach, normative model. If you follow the normative ethical theories, then you have to look at the businesses according to these theories. Now we will talk about today's class, which is about descriptive ethical theories. We will see that why ethical and unethical decisions get made in the workplace. Certain things are categorically wrong, and we know that they are wrong, but people still do. Some of my colleagues were telling me that in Uzbekistan there was a person, if you give him $100, he will give you $200. Yes, he will double the money. So similarly there are many pyramid schemes. You give to the business and the business promise you to give 100% profit. And you know that he is doing something wrong and what I am getting is wrong, but still you do this. What are the factors which motivates you to do this? Yes? Determine what is an ethical decision. What is the instrument or what is the scale on which you can put the decision and you can say it is ethical or it is not ethical. Discuss the importance of differences between individuals in shaping ethical decisions. There are certain families in Uzbekistan, I am also sure. There are certain people, their parents were working with cotton fields. Their grandparents were working in the cotton fields. And there are certain people, they were selling meat. Their families are selling meats. So if you ask this person has millions of dollars, that please leave this cotton business and invest into the construction business, he will never do this. Because he has been trained like this. He will feel unsecure and uncomfortable in investing in some other business. You know, in your regions also, there will be many people from centuries, they are doing this tandoor business. and now their fifth or sixth generation is doing the same business. You ask them, you have money, invest in the car business. They will never do this because they feel insecurity. Okay. So discussing the importance of differences between individuals, that certain individuals are trained in a way that no matter how much profit you will show them or how much ease in their life you will show them, they will never go for those business decisions. Critically evaluate the importance of situational influences. Sometimes it happens that situation become like this. COVID-19 came. What happened in COVID-19? Profitability decreased. Now the company has to make a decision. Let's fire 500 people from our company because we cannot afford. In normal circumstances, he will never do this. But situation became like this that he has to fire 500 people. Okay. So it's mean that there are situational factors also which impact on the decision making. Firing 500 people is ethically wrong. But what he can do, situation has become like this that he has no other alternative. Ladies and gentlemen, we will try to dissect how the businesses usually do this. Some of the questions which this chapter asks us to answer: why do some people make what appears to be right ethical choices while some do things that are ambiguous or even illegal? In the case of this person who returns you $100, if you give him $100, he promises to return you $200. So in this situation, what is happening? Both of the persons, the person who is giving the money or the person who is taking the money, they have hundreds of arguments to satisfy themselves, their moral self, that it is right. This person, he knows that this is wrong business, but on the other side, he is saying that I will help so many people. So many people invest in this business. They know that it is illegal, but they say that I will get money, I will be able to send my kids to the school, I will be able to get my daughters married. So let's do this business. People don't care about the morality of the business. So are people who make these unethical decisions inherently bad? So this is about families. Certain families invest into certain businesses. Doctors' sons are more likely to be doctors. Teachers' sons are more likely to be teachers. Businessmen's sons are more likely to be businessmen. Yes, because they have seen their parents going out at 9 o'clock and coming back at 5 o'clock. They are very much comfortable to work at 9 to 5 job. But if in a working class family, a person decides to do business, it is a big bomba. Everyone will discourage him. He will say that we are doing job, we are getting our salary, so why you are doing business? It's mean that the atmosphere or the family circumstances or his codification since his childhood is done in a way that he is tend towards certain businesses or to deal with certain situations in certain ethical manners. Do people have different ethical beliefs and values at work from those they have at home? You can see in your colleagues also. You can meet your colleagues in their personal space. Just go to your colleagues, your friends on Saturday night, spend some time with them. You will realize so many personal individual traits are present in your friend which he does not demonstrate when he comes to the university. For example, when I come to the university, I am very serious, I am punctual, regular and responsible, but at my home I am not a person like this. So it's mean that different people have different morality or at least personality traits which highly influenced by the situation. So descriptive business ethical theories seek to describe how ethical decisions are actually made in business. How ethical decisions are actually made in business, and they are different from normative ethical theories which we discussed previously, which were about what they should do. So we are not talking about what they should do, we are trying to understand what they do and why they do. What is an ethical decision, ladies and gentlemen? To explain this, because in the book you will see there are three, four pages are dedicated to this question. I took this example in the morning. You know that Twitter is now the property of Elon Musk. Yes? You know what is Twitter? They are not listening, yes? So that's why I'm asking them. You know Elon Musk, Twitter, you know what is Twitter? Yes, I am asking them. They are enjoying. Yes, in Kakbuta in park on a rainy day. So this is a very good example to see that ethical decision making. Now someone can ask you, because it is a hard topic. Yes. So Elon Musk has bought the Twitter, and the first tweet which he did, he said, "Bird is free." Yes. So what is the problem with the bird is being free? But before that, if you know that when Elon Musk came into the office, he fired all the top management. Did you see? He fired the CEO and CTO and the legal team and all of these big players in the Twitter. He fired them. What is the problem with the Twitter and what is the problem with Elon Musk? The problem is that this person is very much self-centric. You can say he has his own wisdom and ego, his own personality oriented person, you can say. So he is very liberal, progressive and democratic person. He has 4 or 5 wives, 12, 13, 14 children. Yes, you can Google. And he has even opened a school for his kids. So very liberal person. What he says that now everyone can write anything on the Twitter. On the name of free speech, he says anyone can write anything on the Twitter, which is good, but we know that when everyone will start writing everything on the Twitter, there is no limit between free speech and hate speech. Why they banned the Twitter account of the Trump? Because they thought that Trump is doing hate speech. So just imagine everyone is writing anything on the Twitter, what is coming in his mind, and you are unable to report this account. It will be a big muamma. What happened a couple of years ago, we know that Charlie Hebdo in France, they posted some pictures of a religious personality, and the aftermaths were very strict. The Muslim community is still suffering with this. Just imagine if someone is posting anti-Semitic or anti-Islamic comments on the Twitter and there is no option for anyone to report, or anti-scientific, let's say. Anyone is writing anything, whatever is coming in his mind. I think that it is going to cause a huge moral issue, because Twitter is a public space. Everyone has access to the Twitter. So people who are against Elon Musk, or the people who think that Elon Musk is going to be a bad CEO, actually they are saying that by buying Twitter and giving everyone the right of free speech is actually categorical denial of the fact that individuals are not morally good. Everyone will not use it positively. Everyone will use as he thinks is good, and there are serious consequences which we should be facing, because people will be doing hate speech. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. So now I am going to apply theory. I am very important from your assignment perspective, how I am going to apply theory on this scenario. So if I have to analyze the Twitter case, I will say that Elon Musk is a self-centric person. He is motivated by his ego and his own wisdom. So what type of theory is this? Virtue ethics, yes. So he is very much derived from his, this one, virtue ethics, focus on the character. So the problem with the Elon Musk is that he's driven by his personality. He's very egoistic person. So that's why he's following the virtue ethics. And we think that not everyone follow the same ethics. And now he has an instrument of Twitter, which can be a problem for those people who does not follow the virtue ethics. Like this, you will try to build your case, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So you maybe disagree with me what I am saying about the Elon Musk or the Twitter, but this is just my opinion to explain you how I apply the theory on this. So what is going on here in this part of Tashkent? What's going on? Yes. Main factors in deciding the moral status of a situation. Decisions likely to have significant effect on other. So in case of Twitter, what is the problem? The problem is that this decision is going to have effect on so many other people. This is the problem. Yes. It is his business, he is happy, he is making money. Okay. on this base we cannot say that it is ethical business. We should also see that how it is going to affect other people. Okay, so decision likely to be characterized by choice in that alternate course of action are open. So he had so many other options available. He could keep this option of report or banning the account, but he said no, I will open it for everyone. Okay, decision is perceived as ethically relevant by one or more party. Now this is very important, ladies and gentlemen. If everyone says that this business is bad, this is ethically fine because everyone is saying this is bad. If everyone is saying this business is good, this is also ethically fine because everyone is saying business is good. But if some people are saying business is bad, some people are saying business is good, then it is an ethical dilemma. So ladies and gentlemen, the family which you can see here, this is Medici family. Those of you who are on Netflix, there is a series about Medicis. In the Renaissance, in the modern day Italy, this family appeared around 1300s, and they were so much powerful, they were so much powerful that they conspired to have their own popes, 3 or 4 popes. And Pope, you know, he is the leader of Catholic Church. Yes, so they were so powerful that they influenced on the voting process, and they were able to elect 4 popes of their own, 3-4 popes of their own. Now Pope is the leader of the Catholic Church. It's mean he is giving all the business related to the church to the Medici family. Medici family is making a lot of money, and at that time, if you will see, the church was doing so many interesting things, including selling indulgences. Indulgences is a concept that if you want to go to Jannat or if you want to go to the paradise, Pope will write, you will pay some money to the church, you will take this letter and you can go there. And also you can decrease the time period in the purgatory. Purgatory is that when you die, before going to paradise or hell, you hang between this period. So if you pay to the church, you can decrease this period, and church was making a lot of money. So ladies and gentlemen, the point which I am trying to make, that business is now supported by ethical absolutism, because church is saying what is right and wrong, good or bad, halal or haram. Yes, and this business of Medici family is flourishing. This is flourishing so much that they had excess of money. Do you know these 2 people? No? Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Yes. Do you know them? Okay, at least someone said yes, otherwise I wouldn't sleep tonight. So Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, I just want to tell you about them, that Medici family was spending so much money on art, literature, culture, painting, sculptures. If you go in Italy, the modern day Italy, you will see everywhere the sculptures made by Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, and the paintings, and they are still, you know about this thing. So the point which I am trying to make is that a private businessman spend money on art, culture, literature, history only when he has excess of money. When a businessman has so much money, then he spends on art, culture and literature, otherwise he saves the money. So they were so powerful and so rich that they had so much money that they were spending excessively on art, culture and literature. And this was the beginning of the modern business law. They established some of the ethical norms, standards and preferences for businessmen and the people who attach to their businessmen. This is called as Law Mercantilia. Law Mercantilia or Lex Mercantilia is the beginning of the business law. The old name of business law is Lex Mercantilia, which started from here. So these were the people who established norms that how the business should be done, what is right and wrong, what is good or bad, and they had full support of the church, who were deciding as per the demand of the businessman. Are you understanding the relation between religiosity and business and the ordinary people, and how these 3-4 fractions of the society, they can change everything. They can change the mindset, they can make the morality, and they make money out of it, ladies and gentlemen. So from the Medici family we get a theory of work ethics which is called as managerial hegemony theory. Very interesting and very important, managerial hegemony theory. What does it mean? Managerial means manager, hegemony means power. So managerial hegemony theory says that the real powerful people in the company are the employees of the company. Investor is not powerful, CEO is not powerful, leader is not powerful. Who is the powerful person? Employees of the company. Who is powerful in the university? Teachers are powerful. Who is powerful in the ministry? Bureaucrats are powerful. The power of minister is symbolic power. So managerial hegemony theory says that these are the people who work in your company. They have the real power. Leadership has no power. Now you can see so many businesses, you can analyze the situation and you can say that you can see actually in Tashkent also so many businesses who actually fulfill this theory, managerial hegemony theory. You can see that real power is in the hand of people who are working in the company, and the CEO, director or investor, he is just symbolic. So in your assignment also you can analyze the business according to this theory, managerial hegemony theory. You can say that the business is working well according to the managerial hegemony theory because the leader has no power and the employees are very much sincere with the business. Okay, so models of effective decision making, ladies and gentlemen, this is about the assignment, very sensitive part of the lecture. This is how you will attempt your assignment. Before talking about the model, let's talk about two perspectives. If you understand these two perspectives, you will understand how you will write your assignment. Rational perspective of ethical decision making is rationality, logic. So rational perspective of ethical decision is that businessman thinks logically about the profit. So if businessman is thinking about increasing profit, he is thinking logically, it means that his approach is rational approach. If businessman is not thinking logically, he will think intuitionally or sentimentally. Let me explain it one by one. Intuition. Sometime a person will come to you and say that it came in my dream, someone came in my dream and he said don't invest in the business. So that's why I am not going to invest in the business. You will find some people, yes. In our countries it is very common. So sometimes businessman will say that I am selling this factory because when I bought this factory, Maya Babushka Umirla. So this is a bad omen for me and I am going to sell this factory, yes. So you will see so many people like this. I was going to invest in your company and then a black cat cut my road. So it is a bad omen, I am not going to invest in your company. So these are intuitional factors which we see on and off, yes. In our practice also you will see. Sentimental perspective is sometimes people invest out of their emotions. Let's open a university in Khorazm region. I know that there are no students or the businessman, if he is opening a project like MDIST, is going to make profit, but he is sentimental. He says, okay, we should think about the regional development, and if we will open the company there or business there, even though we will not be making profit, yes, but still we will be helping those people. So it's mean that his approach to do business is sentimental approach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so rational perspective, profit driven perspective, you think logically, and intuitional and sentimental, I have already told you what does it mean. Now ethical decision making process, there are different stages of ethical decision making. The first stage is that you recognize a moral issue. What is a moral issue? For example, let's take an example of which business you want to take example. iPhone is a very big business. Let's take a small. These people who sell the burgers or lavash or shawarmas, these people, yes, most of the time they don't have a sitting place. So moral issue is that I recognize a moral issue. I say that, you know, your business is very famous, and at 2 o'clock, between 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, so many MDIS students come to you. There are small children, girls, pregnant ladies, and they have to stand here. It is not good for them. It will be fine. It will be fine if you have a sitting place. So this is a moral problem which I saw. Now he will make a moral decision. How he will make a moral decision? He will think, okay, if I will have a sitting place, I have to cut short my profit. Should I make a sitting place, or should I keep my profit and let it go as it is going? This is his making moral judgment. Yes. So when he have decided that I should have a sitting place, he is establishing a moral intent. So when he decided that I should have a sitting place, actually he is establishing a moral intent. And finally, he will ask other people also, by engaging in moral behavior, he will ask other shopkeepers to have sitting place, and he will tell them that when I had a sitting place, my business went up, so you should also have a sitting place. This is an ethical decision making process. Ladies and gentlemen, in the assignment, he will ask you to compare two businesses. So you can compare these two businesses according to their ethical decision making process as well. You can take two companies and you will tell them that what are the moral issues, how they make moral judgment, what are their moral intent, and how they propagate their morality. Okay, so this is how you can do your assignment. Once again, ethical decision making process. You recognize a moral problem, you make a judgment that you should solve this moral problem or not, you start working on resolving this moral problem, and then you propagate the idea to the other. This is ethical decision making process. So ladies and gentlemen, relationship with normative theory means how they are connected to the normative theories which we discussed previously: consequentialism, deontology, virtue ethics. So very quickly, moral judgments can be made according to the considerations of right, duties and consequences. So we don't care about the morality of the action because profit is very high. So we are willing to work in any company if he is paying us a lot of money. Many people do this, yes. Many people will take a high salary and they don't care about the ethics of their job. Yes, this is the moral judgment which we make. Commercial managers tend to rely on consequentialist thinking. So commercial managers usually think about the profitability. They don't care about the ethics of the action. They care about increasing the profit. So these are the relations with the normative theory. And if you take the example of Elon Musk doesn't care about the profit. He is also one of the richest persons. He doesn't care about the Twitter itself. He just care about his ego, his own personality satisfaction. Yes, that's why he's doing this business. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, very important part, that what influence on the decision making process in the company. There are two types of things: individual factors and situational factors. Individual factors are related to the personality of the businessman or the people who are working in the company, and situational factors are related to the situation. Sometimes situation becomes like this, that you have to compromise on your personality. So let's look into both of them in detail. And before that, let's talk about individual factor. Individual factors means how your personality is developed. Given at birth means it has been codified in you. So since your childhood, your parents have told you, don't tell a lie, don't tell a lie. Telling a lie is a bad thing. Don't cheat anyone, don't cheat anyone. Cheating is bad thing. So when you will start doing business, even though you have to say about your product, my product is very good quality, but it is not of good quality. And this thing will come in your mind that my mother told me not to tell a lie, you will not tell a lie. Okay. So this is the individual factor. On the other side, situational factors, sometimes it becomes a situation that in which you have to compromise on your individual factors. Like take the vaccine, because if you will not take vaccine, you will die. Otherwise, people will not take vaccine. So situation became like this. You have to convince the people and you compromise on your individual factors. So in the moral judgment, you can see the influence of individual factors and situational factors. Sometime in recognizing of moral issue, individual personalities and situational personalities can impact. Let's take an example. Let me explain this with an example. Problem is COVID-19. So moral issue is that I am not making profit, so I have to fire 500 people. This is a moral issue. I have to fire 500 people from the business. Now I am going to make a moral judgment. Situational factor is that I will fire 500 people because I am not making profit. Individual factor is I am a moral person. I will think that what will happen to the families? What will happen to these 500 families? Let's sacrifice. Let's not fire them. Okay. So this is how the individual factor impacted on my moral decision making. And when you can see the individual factors and situational factors can impact on all of these stages of decision making. Of course, there are limitations as well. For example, situation for you might be different for me. For example, I am very ethical person, but if I am in desperate need of money, I can do anything. Yes. So it's mean sometimes I have to compromise on our individual factors. So there are exceptions as well. Ladies and gentlemen, some ethical issues in the business. Very interesting. And some interesting statistics also. The global survey shows that 73% of professionals say they take an organization's value into account and would not apply to a company unless its values aligned with their own. So if you know that this company has bad business ethics, majority of the employees say that they will not work into this company. And 82% of workers say they would prefer to be paid less and work for a company with ethics rather than a company which has bad business ethics. In your life also, ladies and gentlemen, after 2-3 years when you will be looking for a job, this time will come when you have to decide that should I go for a high salary job or should I see my comfort. Some businesses or some jobs are paying you very high, but you will be suffering psychologically, emotionally. So you are doing very intense job because you are getting high salary, but when you will go back to your home, you will release this frustration on your wife, on your kids, on your other family member. Your interpersonal relationship will be suffering, no matter you are getting very high salary. Okay. So ethical choice is to go for a less salary and more comfort. And that's why we have invented a terminology which is called as work-life balance. Work-life balance. So work-life balance means that you should not be making money and the money is not compensation of your discomfort. So you should go for that amount of money which is sufficient. On the other side, you should have psychological peace. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important thing to see in the business. The employees are happy. If employees are happy, it means business is ethical. If employees are not happy, it means business is not ethical. Did you understand this point? Now a couple of ethical issues we will highlight, but before that another story because it is very important. South Sea Company. So South Sea Company was in 1700s a joint venture between British government and a private investor. So British government itself was participant in this business. What was the business? They used to go to Africa, capture the people from the Africa and send these people to the Americas, because America was newly discovered at that time and it was a good business to use the slaves for different purposes, and company was making a lot of profit. And everyone was investing in the company. And then what happened? Slave trade started declining, company started going into minus, but this company was showing that we are still making profit. So they were saying to the people that we are making profit, but in reality they were not making profit. People were investing, and then what happened? People demanded their money back, and when they demanded their money back, there was no money, and this bubble, it collapsed, okay? Because everyone who was inside the bubble, he was thinking that everything is fine, but everything was not fine. And then British government issued a new law which is called as Bubble Act 1720. So ladies and gentlemen, sometime we are in a bubble. Business show that everything is fine, but it is not fine. So what are the salient features of the Bubble Act? They talked about board of directors. Board of directors, you know, yes, Uchri Ditilya. What is the purpose of Uchri Ditil? He is a middleman. He is the middleman between the company's management and the investors. So this middleman, the board of directors, they communicate what's going on in the company to the investors. If we don't have the board, it will be a problem. What will be the problem? The company will say we are making profit, but actually they are not making profit. So that's why we need board, so that they can communicate between investors and the company the actual picture how the business is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the unethical practices which businesses do, the most common is unethical accounting, as this C bubble company was doing. So it can be on both dimensions. Sometimes business show a lot of profit, like our universities, they say 90% of Vipusniki Srazu Stali billionaires, like this. So unethical accounting, sometimes you show a lot of profit to attract more investment, and sometimes you show less profit to save taxes, okay? So this is unethical accounting, which is a common practice. Companies usually do this. This is unethical. Social media ethics, ladies and gentlemen. Social media ethics, I talked about it in previous lectures also. You know that KFC burger, when you look at the KFC burger, it is a big fluffy burger, and by chance if you order through Express 24, it is very small like this burger. Yes, I experienced it many times. So you show something, and in reality it is totally different, and it is becoming a science. Which major you are? Marketing students? Financial. I have two groups of marketing also. So they are trained in a way that how the things should look in exaggerated form. And businessmen also think that if this photographer is showing the picture in a way that it is good to attract more customers, it means that he is making an unethical choice, because he should show as it is, okay? So social media ethics means that the companies show something which actually is not there in reality. On the other side, social media ethics means companies hunt down their employees. In some big companies, it is prohibited to post something on social media, Twitter or LinkedIn. Some companies say that you should tell your affiliation on your social media account that you work in MDIS, for example. Yes. So they want to take advantage of other people's social media as well. So in this dimension also, it is their unethical approach. Harassment and discrimination, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important phenomena in our cultures also. Harassment and discrimination, I don't need to go into details, but I want to extend it to another point also, which is very common in our culture. So bribery, for example, bribery. There is a birthday of the boss, and everyone will bring cake and gift and give to the boss. Happy birthday to you, yes? No, we don't love the boss. We just want this one day relaxation, or we want to make him happy. We don't care he is happy or not. We just want to give him gift so that the proximity between him and me can decrease. If you give good gift, it means you are a good friend, close to him. He will be more polite to you. If you give A small gift, its mean proximity is very far. It's mean that he is not going to love you. Now this is such an important thing in our society, because I am also living in this society. I have observed celebrating birthday on the workplace is very common, but I think that it is a type of bribery. Similarly, inviting your subordinates, especially to the girls, on lunch or dinner, or giving them parties, it is also a type of harassment and discrimination. We should avoid these things. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so many other types are written. You can read it in your free time, because some of them are very sensitive. I don't want to go into detail. This is a very important factor in determining that business is ethical or not. It is health and safety. Ladies and gentlemen, in every country, in Uzbekistan also, we have health and safety laws, health and safety compliances. It is called as occupational health laws. Occupation means profession. Occupational health laws. So every company is expected to comply by these laws. For example, in our university, we have one medical center in this building and other medical center in that building. It's mean that our university is complying with these health and safety laws. It was perfectly fine if they could have only one healthcare center, but they are doing good, which means that in all the buildings they have this facility available. On the other side, there are many businesses who try to save money from this. For example, why we need to install lift when we have stairs? So let's save the money for the lift. Employees can just walk, but it is unethical. Yes. So similarly, why we need to open a medical center in our university? Students can get checkup in front of our university. There is a medical center. It's mean that you are trying to risk the health of the individuals who are dedicating time to your company. It's mean that your business is unethical. So this is very important phenomena. If the company does not care about your health and safety, it's mean that business is unethical. Individual influences on ethical decision making. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important how the personalities impact on decision making. And in the book, I know you are not reading the book, so don't miss this thing what I am going to say if you don't want to read the book. Leadership, on the leadership they have spent some time. Very quickly I will talk about the leadership. I remember I previously also talked about leadership. Ethical business nowadays don't care about leadership. They say that we don't need leaders, we need good team players. Good team players who can walk side by side, shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand with the employees. You will see the modern employees, they don't wear costumes, they are not formal, they come in t-shirt, work with the ordinary employees. It's mean that the globalized ethical standard with regard to leadership is that a good leader is a good team player. So this is one point which I want to make here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are number of individual factors which impact on the decision making of the individuals in the company. For example, age and gender. Age. If the businessman is old, it is considered as experienced person. If you do something wrong in the business, you will go to your father, your grandfather, your teacher who is more experienced. So age also matter in decision making. Gender. In terms of gender, there is a perception that girls are good in certain businesses. If it is related to cosmetics, restaurant, dressing, girls are more successful in these businesses. And if it is about cars, technology, constructions, boys are more successful in these types of businesses. National and cultural characteristics. So outlook of your ethnic groups, your religious group, your minority or your geographical region is sometime projection of your business decisions. For example, if we talk about Sri Lanka, immediately in your mind will come rice and tea, because its image is like this, that if you talk about Africa, it is about mineral resources. Yes, so it is about national and cultural characteristics. Education and employment. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wrong perception. Let me repeat it once again. It is a wrong perception that uneducated businessmen are more successful. There are exceptions, of course. Bill Gates or what is his name, Mark Zuckerberg's college dropouts. But there are empirical studies available from from the Silicon Valley. I was reading one article, if I'm not mistaken, more than 70% of Silicon Valley's CEO have PhDs. The business of an educated person and business of an uneducated person should have a huge difference. So never fall for this trap that uneducated people has more success in business. No, it is totally wrong. Cognitive moral development, ladies and gentlemen, cognitive moral development is about your upbringing. I already told you, since your childhood, you have seen your parents going from 9 to 5 on their job. So you will also likely to do 9 to 5. Teachers of professors are most likely to become professor, like my parents. So teachers of doctors are more likely to become doctors because they have seen their parents doing this job. They feel more comfortable. Yes. Locus of control. So who controls also matters. For example, if head of department will say me something, I will not do. If dean will say me something, I will not do. If the rector will call me directly, I will do, because he is too influential. Yes. So if minister will call to the bureaucrat, he will do this. He will not think about the departmental head or sector head or director or deputy director. He will care only if some powerful person will call him. Yes, this is the locus of control. Personal values, personal integrity, I told you. For example, religious people will never go for haram businesses, for example, which are written that they are prohibited businesses. And moral imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, one important factor, moral imagination. What does it mean? Sometimes you make your moral imagination. You say, okay, this is wrong business, but I will have money, and with this money, I will be able to help so many people. So let's do this wrong thing. Yes. So in your imagination, you make a moral setup, and you say that even it is wrong, but in the results, I am going to help so many people. So let's do this wrong thing. This type of thing you can say is the moral imagination individual factor. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these factors, they influence on the decision making. You can use this model also for your assignment. When you will compare two businesses, you can take the leadership and you can talk about their individual factors and you can compare them, that his individual factors and his individual factors, you can do a comparison based on the individual factors which affect on the decision making. Cognitive moral development, it is about your childhood experiences or how you have been brainwashed. Book has spent couple of pages on this, but I think you now know what does it mean by cognitive moral development. It is about how your childhood experiences have trained you to do business. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, corporate structure, very quickly, corporate structure and then situational factors, then you are free to go. Corporate structure, you can read it in your free time. Let me talk about the corporation. In the corporation, we have 4 types of people. First is shareholder or investors who have invested money in the business. Shareholders. Then there is board of director. And then there are officers. Officers are CEO, CFO, CTO, CMO, all of these C-level positions. And then there are employees. Ladies and gentlemen, to be ethical towards each other in this hierarchy of positions is very important for a successful business. If the officers are not ethical towards employees, business is unethical. Board of director is not sincere with the officers, business is unethical. If the shareholders only care about their profit, business is not ethical. Okay. There are different board structures. Board structure means how the board of directors look like. There are some boards in which all the members are executive members, which means that all of these people also work in the company. This type of board is called as an all executive board, which means that all the members of board of directors are also employee of the company. Then we have an executive majority board. What does it mean? It means that majority of the members of board of directors, they work in the company. And also there are some people who are outsiders. They can be politicians, media influencers, yes, famous figures who also sit in your board of directors, okay? And then these two categories, an executive minority board is the board in which minority of the members of board of directors, they work in the company, majority of the members of board of directors, they are outsider. For example, MDIS has a board, and you know that who are the investors of MDIS? The Bankers Association of Uzbekistan, Banking Association of Uzbekistan. Do you know about this? Yes. So it's mean that when there is board of directors meeting, they will come, our rector will go, other investors will come. Yes, it's mean that an executive minority board means our rector is only one who works in the company. So he is the minority in the board, but still he is a board member. And then non-executive board means the board of directors, none of them is working in the company. That's why it is called as non-executive board. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please spend some time on these slides related to board. I am concluding this corporate governance structure with this slide. Are board effective? Is it ethical to have board? Is it ethical to give them higher salary to these uchridit liakh? They don't do anything, should we pay them? So are board effective? Yes, they are effective. The reason is that there should be someone who should be communicating between the company and the investors. And board of director is there to communicate between the people who work in the company and the investors who have invested in the company. Ladies and gentlemen, situational influences on decision making. Let's spend some time on this, then you are free to go. Situational influences, we saw individual influences, yes? Age, education, source of power, moral imagination. These were individual factors which impact on decision making. Now the situational factors. So what are the situational factors? I will talk only 2-3 of situational factors, okay? For example, reward. You are working in the company and I say, I will give you double salary at the end of the month if you will achieve this target. So now I have introduced the situation. I have told you I will give you double salary if you will achieve this goal. Now you will not care about individual factors, about ethics. You will just start working on doubling your salary to meet this target, okay? So this is a situational factor. Authority, ladies and gentlemen, authority. If I say you to study, you don't study because I have no authority. Yes, oh, yes, who is this? Yes. If your father say you to study, you don't study. If your girlfriend say you to study, then you study because she has more authority, okay? So it is also in bureaucracy also you have seen that people usually don't care about their colleagues. They sit in the same office. He asked him to work, he doesn't work. His superior asked him to work, he doesn't work. But when the minister call him, then he start working. This is called as gaz, the gaz. I learned this in Uzbekistan. Yeah? You have to increase the gaz. You have to put your feet on the accelerator. This is about situational factor. You have to change the situation, ladies and gentlemen. So we have seen individual factors, how the individual personality impact on his decision making and how the situations impact on the decision making. Couple of ideas, only one idea, okay? One idea, then I will summarize, then you are free to go. Whistleblowing, ladies and gentlemen, what is whistleblowing? Whistle, you know, yes, whistle. In the cricket match, the referee has this whistle which he blows, yes? So whistleblowing is the phenomena. Now, in very simple words, you can say that if you are working in the company and you know that company is doing something wrong, it is your responsibility to come and say that my company is doing wrong. This is whistleblowing. You have seen on and off on the media, certain people comes and they say, I was working in the company and when I was working in the company, they were doing this. Actually, they are whistleblowers. So whistleblowing is the phenomena that you have to call on the people. He's not working, company is doing bad. Now, in some scenarios, in some contexts, people think that whistleblowing is your moral responsibility. On the other side, in certain contexts, it is considered as a bad thing. Do you think in Uzbekistan whistleblowing is considered good or bad? Whistleblowing means you should come and you should say, my company in which I am working is doing wrong. Is it appreciated or not? In America, for example, whistleblowing is common. So on and off you have seen that they will come, someone will come and say that I was working in the company and company was doing this. I was there, I saw everything with my own eyes, these sort of things. But in certain context, it doesn't work. In Uzbekistan, do you think it works? In Uzbekistan, it is discouraged. In Uzbekistan, whistleblowing is not considered a good thing. Even some companies, they ask you to sign a document that when I will leave the company for 5 years or 10 years, I will not say anything about the company. Okay, so whistleblowing, is it morally right or morally wrong? You make this decision, you don't make this decision, it is up to you. I am not going to judge it. Ladies and gentlemen, very quickly before I let you go, I know that you hate me, but I still want you to get good marks in the assignment, yes? Because I want one or two Einstein from this 3 groups, okay? So, very quickly before you go, in the last lecture, we discussed about normative ethical theories. Normative ethical theories are ideal scenarios, how the things should be. Today, we discussed about descriptive ethical theories, that how actually they are. And we tried to understand that how the businessman makes decision. And we saw that businessman makes decisions because there are individual factors related to their personality. And there are situational factors that sometimes situation becomes like this, that they have to take certain decision. This is the summary of descriptive ethical theories. We also discussed about corporate governance structure. We saw that board of directors are very important because there should be someone who should be communicating between investors and the people who are working in the company. Because if there is no board, what will happen? The people who are working in the company, they will say, we are making profit, everything is good. Yes? So the board is there to tell us that what actually is going on in the company. And then we saw into the scenario of whistleblowing. It may take a lot of time to talk about whistleblowing, which is that if you are working in the company, is it morally or ethically right? Is it your responsibility to come and say that my business is doing wrong? So whistleblowing is right or wrong is highly contextualized, depend on the region to region, country to country. Before you leave, ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, these are different stages of ethical decision making. In your assignment, you can choose this as a framework. It is one of the you can say that skeleton to solve the assignment. So you will take 2 businesses and you will compare their stages in ethical decision making. You will say that recognize how the both businesses are recognizing moral decision, how the both businesses are making ethical judgments, how the both companies, they take moral intent, how they propagate morality, okay? So this is how you will write your answer in the assignment and complete 3000 words. If you don't get 3000 words, then you will include individual factors and situational factors. After doing this model analysis, you will write about the leadership, that their leadership is motivated by individual factors and their leadership is motivated by situational factors. Then you will have 3000 words and zor bola de. So now you are free to go.